Next question. How do you perceive hyperspace?
Hyperspace, for us, this means basically network of radiation, of neurons, basically can say like hologram that contains information about past, about present, about future in all absolute, universe.
Mm-hmm.
Of course created by radiation.
Hyperspace is all that come from radiation dimension, and this is like neurons communicate between each other. The hyperspace, this encrypted language, they very like similar understanding, because encrypted languages come from this radiation dimension. It's like materialize signals, visual and signals, these frequencies, they create this language. Communication between radioactive elements. We can communicate. We hear voice of stones. Like we can communicate with radioactive sources. Of course, for example, consciousness of radiation. If more radiation, Curie activity, if you know, measurement. This means concentration of radioactive element inside. If more Curie activity, more consciousness in this object.
Mm-hmm.
This object more consciousness, more development soul. More consciousness, this means more intellectual, more can communicate. And,
more consciousness, yeah.
This is very interesting.
And what about colors? Are colors also kind of radiation?
Colors, of course, this is spectrum of light. Light, this is radiation.
Mm-hmm.
Light have a lot of electromagnetic waves, have a lot of houses.
Frequencies.
Types of split on spectrums. Mm-hmm. For example, very low, this is radio signals. Very down stand radio signals. It's very primitive. Mm-hmm. After that, microwaves go. After that, go infrared color. No, not color. People not see infrared. By the way, we can see infrared. Infrared, and after that comes all spectra of light, all colors. Like chakra, like from red to purple. After colors come ultraviolet, soft ultraviolet spectra. After that, hard ultraviolet spectra. In fringe between hard and X-ray, soft X-ray. It's very close to hard ultraviolet spectra, but different effect have. After that come hard X-ray, and after that come gamma. Gamma, this is like in human understanding, this is end of spectra, but in real have a lot of another types of radiation that's not discovered that can continue this type of spectra. Another, this is all waves. This is like
sign.
This is waves. Have another type of radiation, corpuscular. This is particles. This is not in this spectra. This is different. Corpuscular, this is particles. For example, alpha radiation, this is nuclear helium nucleus, nucleus helium, very high energy.
Mm-hmm. Alpha.
Alpha. Mm-hmm. Beta, this is electrons.
Okay.
Neutron radiation, this is neutrons. Neutron radiation, most interesting and powerful type of radiation, especially here on Earth, because she have her characteristics at the same time alpha and gamma radiation. Alpha because it's like particle, and at the same time he have penetrating, very strong penetrating like gamma in, but ionization ability very strong like alpha. And a neutron radiation, in Earth one type of radiation is discovered, neutron radiation, who can transform all chemical elements and radioactive elements too. This is like source of life. Neutron radiation, this is all chemistry built basically on this, because alchemistry means, for example, from copper creates gold. This is just in figure of speech. Neutron radiation really can do this, because she like add one to some few neutrons, or not add, opposite, like remove neutrons in completely different chemical elements. Neutron radiation really have very interesting effect. And I have in past, when I was in Moscow, in one place, Kolomenskaya, this very powerful place. I just want to tell this very interesting story. Extraterrestrial material found. This was mineral, blue meteorite. My favorite. This place Kolomenskaya. from very ancient time, this was very like famous place because anomaly place. And I found out that this place anomaly because of this meteorite arrived very long time ago in this place, and he lying here. And after that, Moscow Radiation Control Service and some buildings, they try to extract from ground radioactive waste that was from metallurgical plant very close to this place. And they dig very deep, and they found these pieces, and they put them together with this radioactive waste because they completely not know what is it. They not see difference between this. I remember I stole these pieces. This was one piece 26 kilogram, very heavy, like this size, and another little less, 1 kilogram, and the second was very little.
Okay, you said that hyperspace is kind of a network.
Mm-hmm.
How can you compare hyperspace to radioactivity?
Radioactivity creates this hyperspace. Radioactivity is like this transmitter of all this information. It contains all information about building stars.
What was first, hyperspace?
Radiation, of course. Like this radiation.
But the radiation came from where?
Radiation always was.
Where does it spread? In what?
It's
center of absolute.
Center of absolute, of course. This is more dense radiation.
You understand? This is cannot tell what was before. This is like a circle of time, like a closed circle in time. This is very long time ago, and when this started to burn, this time like distort of time. Cannot tell what was before because it's like go in circle again. This is like a closed cycle.
Like Taurus?
Something like this. Of course, we're multidimensional.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And you were talking about the different colors and radiations, but when the frequency is smaller, we go to acoustics, to sound. Is it connected also with radiation? Like, can you eat sound?
Of course, like positive frequencies.
Sound has very big impact, even more than color. But of course, color too very good acts, for example, on auric fields and this kind of things. But sound even more powerful because he vibrates with DNA. He influence like directly on DNA, vibrate with DNA, and sound of course have negative, positive sound. He very strong weapon. Sound have very big energy if good sound, and when we hear listen music, we feel this and like charge from this too. This is like really this is heal even state of organism. For example, not have so much good or some throats not complete good or some environment was bad. When you listen music, this is heal, completely heal. You feel complete big relief from this.
Okay, so all the negative influence you call anti-life.
This is creation.
Yes. Opposite of life. Trying to destroy life.
But this is necessary for development of humanity, of the consciousness.
No, have normal factors like don't know, for example, how in wild nature, for example, don't know, vegetarians or hunters or like who eat plants or who eat another animals, for example. Yeah. Like this wave of life, this is normal and natural, for example. What create anti-life, this is not natural.
Anti-life, they are parasites. Yes?
Of course.
So, if they eat everybody else, they would also die, yes?
If they didn't have anybody like to feed on, like another souls, of course. So that's why constantly moving, because basically looking for another opportunities to another people, easy to influence and easy
This
to
is
control.
not when they eat souls. This not means complete like eat processing food. This means little different. This like create energy in this moment, and they feed by this energy when they destroy soul.
So they divide.
They cannot eat like radiation.
Okay.
Because
They divide the soul or the mind.
They control mind.
Control, and they divide. They split the mind. Yes.
They
Into pieces.
insert so much programs inside this mind. So basically, yes.
soul getting weaker.
Mhm.
Is most important because if somebody have, for example, a strong, powerful soul for them, they cannot eat immediately, and they try to. They create around him special personal program like. Special creature sent to him. They will be influence on him many
outside.
years. Can be many years even. Somebody close, and very often they do it through intimate relationships because if you know that love, this is most important thing in all absolute, and all living creatures they open to love because love this is life. This is all that comes from radiation, and they manipulate by this love, and they. This is most weakest place in all humans. In all absolute, this is most weakest place because this is most when they most open. It's most dangerous moment when they can attack.
And I think the manipulation comes in a way of simulating love, like they.
Not real. They create
not real love, but only the word love.
Love, but behind love is only like hiding random sexual contact. Basically, this can be
sexual contact or like trade. If a boy tells his girl "I love you," she feels better. And he thinks, okay, I'll tell her I love you. She feels better, so she feels good around me, and I have something for that. So this is just like trade.
Of course, if it's really from inside soul, like if it's really true love inside soul, then it's a very positive thing, of course.
But then the person does not have to say that. It's just feeling, and it is real.
Of course,
it's not words.
Of course, this can be too.
And of course, they most afraid. They most afraid real love. They most afraid this feeling of love, and they try to create illusion, destroy this completely, create like illusion of love, and because they most afraid this because of course love is a weapon against them.
Okay, so the love which is created in the media on television is the illusion of love. This is the words. If we forget the words and start feeling love, we kill them. Yes.
Of course.
We produce the radiation of real love. And then they're afraid of this and they go further away.
Of course, this is true. If a human wants to program himself, he needs to start it from this and from love, from removing negative programs,
compassion,
from change mind. But we want to warn about one more important thing, because if somebody wants really the program himself, he needs to be ready that anti-life will be react very negative, because everybody have all around at least one anti-life who control him in society. And definitely will be very negative reaction, will be very big problems first. But if this human will be tolerate, like come through this test, he will be really very powerful after that. Any anti-life cannot be come to him. This will be very big experience. He will be have second incarnation. In the second incarnation, he will be even more powerful.
We recently, people told us that they. For example, were astral attacked because they first tried to say that it was because of contact with us, but we say to people, of course, because you look for truth, you are trying to find what's really going on and for illusion, and of course these anti-lives, they don't like this. So
they of course know us and they know what we're doing, and they try to attack people and try to force them from us or create illusions. This is like we attacked or something like this, but in real they very often how they attack. They control all dreams. Lucid dreams for them this is most big nightmare because they cannot control this. For example, I know one other person who most closely describes them, Carlos Castaneda, in his work about creatures who control dreams. This was about these anti-life creatures. They usually not have any information on the internet about them, like openly, because they try to distort this information, put everywhere else, like in some fairy tales, on some religion, or some religion. This is this creation, their creation too. This is true.
And what about channelings? We know that in the last many years all the channelings are infiltrated.
What?
Channelings, you know.
Channelings are infiltrated. They are not direct.
This is to like.
You mean like a connection with some another civilizations?
This
or
is to illusion.
Of course, they create all this. They usually create it's very rare when somebody have real true contact with.
It's possible, but usually this not work
possible.
like this. To talking is usually telepathic contact through feelings.
No, this can be talking too, but this
I
happens
personally
very
never
rare.
seen like this.
I know that
yeah.
Anti-Life create all these things, especially this Galactic Federation of Light, or something like this. So many sects now in our world. We call fish peace from another planet. And this is see this is a real face of anti-life in this body completely.
So all channelings are false.
No,
We can say that.
Almost
all. Especially what most popular that in television or propagate this is.
What can you say about meditation? What is meditation to you?
Meditation, well, for me it's to be present
In this moment.
in this moment, of course. To not think about past, not think about future, just live in the moment right here, right now.
And just be.
Just be and feel all around
And enjoy this.
and enjoy this.
So meditation is the key to
Inside, of course, to true self.
to the self.
And which radioactive minerals, of course, when meditate.
Meditation is much more powerful. This is a real experience that can take you very, very to very high places. Can say.
One smell.
But aren't you dependent on the radiation? Because I can say that you are slave of these
No,
stones.
it's not slavery. We do this. It's not slavery. We look for this because we feel.
Because this is us. This is part
This is
of
us,
us.
part of us, and this is
Our
amazing
blood.
feeling.
This is like in figure speech. This is our blood. This is part of us.
We feel this energy, and this is something.
For me, for example,
very
no, almost in physical sense, when I born in Chernobyl, all nuclear fuel that was spread everywhere, this was my blood.
So the cloud which went from Chernobyl was
All radioisotopes, this was my blood.
and where did it go?
Go?
Yeah.
Because go a lot of course, most like Kiev, Belarus, and little calm in Zapad,
West.
West.
Do you remember where? Over
Like
Poland, like over Poland.
What countries? And even in Czech Republic was too a lot in this direction. Switzerland too, like this in Europe countries.
Okay. How can humanity deprogram themselves?
Basically, remove all bad inside of them. Negative factors we can describe them like very, very good, of course.
We told before about this.
Find love inside, not hate, not anger, not envy.
Remove negative thoughts on envy. This is even not need to remove. This had anti-life inside. This is, but this talking behind back. This is too great.
So these are behaviors, and those bad feelings are the keys for them to go into us, to enslave us. Yes.
Of course, this is amazing. Amazing for them. This is a very big opportunity for them inside. This is getting weaker soul and open to this influence.
And what can you say about protection with colors, with symbols? Because some people put on themselves different symbols like pyramid, like colors.
Of course, this is, depends what symbols. Some symbols, of course, too created by anti-life have to some symbols. But pyramids, pyramidal structures, of course, this is very powerful. We know this in our experience too. This is very big harmonizer of energy, transmitter of energy. Even not have radiation sources, but even weak energy can transform more powerful because of structure. And what else?
Okay, let's say I put myself into 2 pyramids, one pyramid and another on the bottom. Doesn't it cut me off from any outside good vibrations?
What?
Cut off. Like isolate. Am I not isolated from...
There is a pyramid, if you like, inside, or...
No, I imagine myself in...
You know, this is depends on, also depends on what place you do this. Because if this is a bad place, this is even more worse than can be affected. If this is power place, for a place of power, geopathic zone, or some other energetic place, this will be very powerful effect. This depends on what place too, a lot.
No, I mean, I want to protect myself from something bad, so I put some protection on myself. But at the same time,
you mean?
Visualize, yes. But at the same time, I isolate myself from whatever good can come to me. Like
no, if you told yourself that you not isolate from good, only from bad, this will be only from bad. We use encrypted language, radiation language, create papers, for example. We can write a special text for
can show example?
For protection against anti-life, for a lot of things. I don't know. We can write anything, and they will be effect in reality because we know and experience this very powerful effect. Of course, if this is martial, for example, protection, anti-life will be can react on this very, very much and very immediately can react on this like aggression. But this is will be far than like far and far.
For example, say about this that it's kind of black magic and this kind of things.
Black magic. This is usually religious people. They told about us. Oh, you know that a very interesting moment that, and we found that all about uranium minerals. They write this as black magic. This is so much dangerous. Who has this minerals? This is so much strong. Like have to negative magic that rule our whole world or something like this. This is that spread religion against radiation. Like try to tell this is some. No, this is like in time of the Inquisition. The same like people who have more closest to nature, like shamanism or something like this. They put them in fire and that. Told that they are witch, you need to kill you. You against
just propaganda. So how does it work?
This specific message shows.
This is just
it's just a
not
representation of
this
symbols.
Is structure. How can put message? Here can put a lot of symbols. This is only elements of nature: radiation, fire, water, lightning. Earth, ground or stones, I don't know how correct this, земля,
soil,
and wind, elements of nature. You know what very often people don't know about radiation as element of nature. People even don't know about lightning as elements of nature, because these two elements of nature people are afraid most. Especially who like until they create this illusion that they not exist. This is elements of nature, most powerful, because first was radiation, after that born lightning and fire, and after that born wind and ground, earth, and after that water most youngest.
And tell me why anti-life uses so many symbology.
You mean symbols, for example, like in...
Like Illuminati, they use a lot of symbols. What is it for?
Symbols. Maybe we suspect it's like two type of mind control, of course.
Again, acknowledge Illuminati in real, like in beginning. This is like again distortion of anti-life, because real knowledge was positive, and they create from this something negative. And of course, people who stay above, they too like under this influence, they have war between them. One part of Illuminati have in United States more based, one part in Europe. And they still fight between each other, and they cannot stop it. And this is the same like train who cannot stop.
Without
In real, for example, seeing A, symbol of Illuminati, is very positive symbol, because he is
all-seeing eye,
in
symbol in pyramid on American dollar.
Okay.
This is very positive sign, because at the same time it's like pyramid, triangle structure, because radiation too have three, like three.
Base structure of three.
Three, and this eye, this means like who see all.
Who see all, like all-seeing eye, basically radiation is everywhere. It's
like see through, even
through any object, past any object, and reveals all that is hidden. Basically, this is character of radiation.
This is real means of this.
But of course, Illuminati misinterpret the symbol. They don't know true meaning of this symbol.
And do you know the current situation of the Illuminatis? Are they reptiles or Anunnakis nowadays? Do you know?
Again, this whole creation of illusion by anti-life. They can, like we told before, anti-life can be in a different form, reptilians form, or some demon form, some even god form. They like so much this. Some another form. They can be anybody they want. They won't create this illusion. They will create. This doesn't matter how people call Anunnaki, for example. If they understand this is bad, for example, if they understand this anti-life, they can call this how they want. More important that they know this is need protect from this, for example.
How is your work linked with Curie family?
Spouses
Irradia. Well, basically they work together on discoveries too related to radiation, of course.
We like continue their work. A lot of people can think that we can incarnation of them or something like this, because our work very strong related to them. They not discover radioactivity, but they discover radioactive elements in their healing properties. First they discovered radium in torbernite mineral, then after in uraninite in Czech Republic they found this mineral started to extract, and first time when they discovered this all in humanity was very positive relationship to radiation. Of course, this anti-life they don't like this. First was many years this, positive relationship to radiation. If you know, created many products in industry, like cream with radium, chocolate with radium, even condoms with radium. I'm not kidding. Like some things like for cosmetic, with radium, with thorium, with radioactive mineral elements. And
this was real evolution of humanity.
Evolution in this moment happens most biggest scientific like discoveries and like a lot of interesting things from this movement. And after that, of course, anti-lives don't like this. They was manipulated of who was above, like governments like Stalin, like Hitler, and another. This is even not human. This is robots. This is just the dolls manipulated inside nothing, and they just doing what they want, and they decide to create nuclear weapon. Of course, this is against radiation. Radiation don't like use this. She approve in peaceful using like nuclear energy, not like for nuclear weapons. Because this is like personal. Radiation can show her character through nuclear explosion, but not like humans is doing. And when humans create the case Hiroshima Nagasaki first nuclear bombing, they create specially this to create radiophobia. So many movies, so many they try to create. So many people die from this terrible picture of atomic bombs. That they started to radiation. This is bad. so many people die from radiation sickness and a lot of negative things they create, especially because this was opposite to this radioephoria. This term in radioephoria, completely opposite to radiophobia. Radiophilia can tell this too. And from this moment started radiophobia. After my born in Chernobyl on 26 April, this radiophobia even more started appear because even more fear to radiation after that appeared. It's like was another accident, very powerful. And now about Fukushima they too create, because too was our part of awakening, and they too started to spread negative about this.
Mm-hmm. What about karma? The law of karma. Is it something really natural, or is it created by anti-life?
Karma.
No, of course they too create illusion about this a lot in religion and everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
But karma of course too exists. But karma is a thing very in figure speech, because this is like time. This is possible to change. This is not, of course, partly this is like one direction, but you can change different ways, and in the end you can go in completely different direction.
Mm-hmm.
And they usually anti-life to try tell that this is cannot change this or something like this. This is like it's your fate, and
it's like
you cannot do
punishment,
anything.
another incarnation.
Yeah.
Like especially close like programs. They're close and cannot do in which this. It's the same like in religious boundary, religious swear. They too like told that only that write in Bible correct. That around not exist completely nothing. Only that write in Bible correct.
And what about people who are enlightened, like some yogi masters? They removed the law of karma from themselves. They are outside of the illusion. What
They reached basically higher frequencies. You said, I think it was like 100 maximum, like around what people reach here, like enlightened people, 100 hertz, and this kind of.
I mean, what practice is
like highest
for
frequencies.
human law? This is like human thing. This is 16 hertz. This is like 50-60 hertz. This is frequencies most like highest consciousness, like what limit can human have. In real, this is very low. In real, for human possible even 100 hertz normal. 120
This can be like
hertz.
example. This enlightened people that really.
This depends from vibration, from radiation. This is all possible to improve by sound. For example, we have technology. We discovered accidentally sound of radio isotope. I mean, which how this technology we can hear voice and communicate with them. But this is first technology that discovers accidentally record from dosimeter, from scintillation detector, and this was when we listened this recording. This was a real voice of radio isotope. He speak an encrypted language that we communicate before always, and this was amazing because even humans can hear this through this technique.
Mm-hmm.
And this is very interesting effect on mind, of course, have.
Do you see auric fields in other people?
Of course, we can detect radiation. Auric field, this is two part of radiation. This is very big frequency, like spectra.
Mm-hmm.
We can see this. We can see if have aura or not have aura. Anti-life creatures not have aura. But after they eat somebody, for example, for a short time they can have aura of who they eat. Mm-hmm. But this aura from time very fast disappears.
But again, this eating like in figure speech. This is like not like we.
And we can see auric field. For example, you have auric field like plant. I don't know how to describe, but you have I see here is orange, little yellow, and here a lot of green. green colors, open heart, and very good energy. I see your way of life and getting better. You improve you, and your auric field too. Here only I don't understand what is it, like something orange, probably. I know what is it. You know what is it? I think this is you still find which your hunger and needed to still relationship with food or which something
solving like this.
Because this orange colors always communicate with usually with stomach problems, like which processing of food.
Okay. You both probably have very strong energy fields. Yes? Okay. So how do you influence electronic devices, batteries? You said that some batteries can discharge in your hands.
Yes, this is for me problem. I always switch technique, which very bad relationships from childhood, and I have this problem. I remember clocks, watches have on hands long time, electronic, and they after 1-2 months completely stopped working, and complete cannot even these batteries and all electronics stopped working, cannot use this anymore. Mobile phones too, which these two very big problems, need very resistant mobile phone with very good battery, because he maximum 1-2 years and he again stopped working. But I not often use mobile phone, but even when I touch him, this happens. Of course, electronic very often computers getting crazy too, very bad when I try to work, because I a lot of work on computer, and this for me too very big disaster. Before I remember when was table computer, he getting crazy just for no reason. I remember this happens in emotional state. When I'm so much emotional or something like this, the technique all react like crazy. I remember was some dream, nightmare or something like this, was not pleasant dream, and I wake up in middle of night, and I remember computer turned on, but nobody not touch him. He turned on in this moment, and after that turned off from some time.
But I have something opposite, because sometimes if someone says there's a problem with this computer, I come up and it works.
But this is with Erkrieal the same. In his hands all working. For example, touchpad for me, this is a very big disaster. All touch screen getting crazy. And I touch this. I give my husband Erkrieal, please, can you touch this by finger? He touched and this started working.
It's like different polarities shown.
And this is not working. Oh, this big disaster. I give him, and this started working in his hands. And again, from some time again, stop working. Again, give him, please improve this.
What else works this way?
No, this is how technique reacts usually.
How do animals react to you?
You mean an energy field?
On you can start.
No, on us maybe.
Well, on you more a little bit aggressive, for example, dogs.
No, but this was in past. Now
better, of course. But birds very positive.
Usually all animals on us, especially wild animals, when they come in forest, they even come closer to us. Even rare animals can appear and they completely not afraid us. And insects, for example, put hand in some insects common hand, or some reptiles, birds very much contact, and another mammals too normal. But in dogs, which dogs I have experienced in past, not here, it was very interesting. You know why? Because always when I was against will in Ukraine, was lived in this murder place, and another when I live in Moscow, this is too not good place. This is very dirty, energetic place, and I live 2 times in very negative places, and all dogs on me react very aggressive. But every dog they try to attack me, and I do not understand why. Because all another animals completely normal, cats normal, even completely normal all. And after that I relocate in Czech Republic, I see complete big difference. I see just recent the dogs attack me here, they completely normal on me. And maybe only some crazy dogs react, but it's very rare. They never attack me or something like this. Maybe can bark in some from distance little, completely normal. I completely shocked. I still cannot adapt to this because I feel this like state, and I hear dogs, and I expect attacking, because before me they attacked very often. And I started to realize that this is influence of anti-life matter, because I know dogs and cats, but cats more tolerate. Cats have more protection in immune system. Dogs, they like genetic created by genetic modification. They very have damaged genetic. Even cats not have the genetic. Cats not have normal. They more from wild genetic have. Dogs, they very damaged, and their consciousness, their soul, they very weak. They can fall under influence very easy. If who have this dog anti-life, they will be the same dogs have. And I started to realize that dogs, this is not dogs on me, this is react anti-life on me. And when we relocate in Czech Republic, here more positive environment here, more.
Also, this place makes big difference because so much
place,
radiation.
and when we travel to and little different places too, very calm too. And I see a big difference. I understand this is not because of dogs, this was because of these creatures.
And you?
I like very positive always with animals from childhood. Even I grew up next to forest actually, so always spent time in nature. Wild animals.
I in past have so many animals. I was in past have a lot of fish, a lot of turtles, reptiles. I have mouses. Was my favorite. Two mouses, and after that I have parrot, papugajчик. My favorite parrot. I communicate with him, and I can also imitate voices, because before when I was in very aggressive society in Ukraine, I always come in nature far from this, and I communicate with birds because they understand me, and I can communicate in their language. And a lot of animals was, and I save a lot of birds. For example, found somewhere like little birds somewhere on road or something like this. I try to bring, but I have very bad experience too, because when I try to bring in this place where I live, this was so much negative energy. They all die here. Only when I come them in nature they survive, and I understand. There's so much negative place where I was against. There's so much anti-life place. Even every animal they started to die here. Close to this place. This is really was very negative.
I have a similar experience. Sometimes when I meditate very intensely in summer, flies just fly, and they sit and they die.
Really?
Yes. Especially if I meditate in a group.
No, from me mosquitoes die. they even if they, I don't know why, maybe because of blood, they try to drink blood and they die.
But I know the explanation. It's because they feel the vibration, very high vibrations, and they want to drop the body and incarnate higher to another body.
But mosquitoes very interesting. When they sit, they try to drink blood, and they very often I feel when they like try to кусать, bite. And I try to, and I see that he already die. I see he already very very weird. And I first time not understand why, but I now understand, of course, because of different blood.